Boker Tov, Baruch Hashem, אנחנו נמצאים בבית מדרש של צבי, and I want to start the shir by welcoming a colleague, Justice Retired Esther M. Morgenstern, known affectionately as Mickey Morgenstern, who was elected to the bench in 1996. Actually, 1995 was the election. She ascended to the bench in 1996, the same year I first took the bench. And she served in Brooklyn and was elected to Supreme Court, where she served. And she actually was in a unique, innovative part called IDV. Did you forget him? Did you forget Meltzer?
No, he's waiting by the second bus stop.
So she presided over the IDV, the Integrated Domestic Violence part, which is a combination of matrimonials, family court proceedings, and she was very well respected.
Seatbelt.
And how do you like that? And I understand from speaking to her, she's right now in flight, going back to the States. I was told that she's involved in the production of a TV series called The Day in October, Shachar Adom, The Red Dawn, and very interesting, documenting the unfortunate people who survived the October 7 massacre. Anyway, אנחנו רוצים לקבל, ברוכים הבאים לרב משה מלצר.
Yes.
שמעתי שאתה נכד או נין, this is
Great grandson.
Wow. And אתה יכול להיות קרוב לרב שנר וארן קוטלר, נכון?
Reb Shner was my Sunday, and Reb Arn was brother-in-law with my grandfather.
Because Reb Shner was I got a hamlatza to go to Panovich with Reb Shner, beautiful handwriting.
Really?
And yes, and I had the schus. I'm sorry?
2 weeks ago I met his son, the Malkiel, two from his sons, the Malkiel and the Barn.
And they were here in Eretz Yisrael.
No, I was in America.
Oh, you were in America. Very nice. I think it's your Rabbi Meltzer's seatbelt, not mine. I'm good.
I'm good.
So maybe Achora?
שמת את
אני שמתי, אולי שמתי על זה.
משהו?
הוא מודד.
Does that help? I
Yes.
don't know. You never know.
כן.
Okay, היום זה חוב גימל עיר.
זה שידור, הוא עושה שידור עכשיו.
כן, אבל לדאבוני אני רוצה לא להגיד את זה כל יום, אבל רק נודע לנו עכשיו, הותר לפרסום, שנפל עוד אחד בדרום רצועת עזה, הגיע למספר 858 מהתחלת המלחמה, דנילו מוקרנו, בן 20 מחולון, השם ינקום דמו. היום זה 38 ימים בעומר, 30 יום שהם 5 שבועות, ו3 ימים בעומר, ואני רוצה את הרשימה שלנו עם הרב משה, אתה רוצה להוסיף שם, אנחנו לשמם, אנחנו לומדים היום אריה לייב מן חי טובה, דיברתי איתו. כן, רוח השם, he's on the mend.
Good.
And you should know they made a documentary on him.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, and it was actually won an award in the festival. And I think it's showing again Thursday. And in fact, they interviewed me as part of the film, but all the people they interviewed, they cut. They only took Lenny himself. And Lenny said that when he heard it, he was in tears because, emotional to see himself over there. But anyway, שיהיה לו רפואה שלמה.
אפשר לראות את זה?
אני לא יודע, it's in the theaters. So I don't know.
Theaters?
Yes.
עד כדי כך?
עד כדי כך. יורי ניסים בן עופרה, מיכל בן נמי שרה, פסח יוסף בן הינדה, פסח קרון, Rav Moshe, אתה מכיר of Pesach Kron? You heard of him?
Sure.
The Maggid from the Maggid from America.
I'm staying by his brother, the Barrier.
Rebarie, because he's tremendous Talmud Chacham, and anyway, Refuah Shlema. Aaron Tzvi ben Nechama, Binyamin ben Daniel, Margalis, Chaim Daniel ben Hodaya, Yisrael ben Inbal Nester, Ashira Rus Bas Rivka, Barak ben Tamar, Pinchas Daniel ben Sarah, Yora Rachel Leah, Moshe ben Freda Leah, and yesterday, very interestingly, before the bris, even though he's Munsham, this Tinok, the one who was Caesarean from the mother Nebuch, who was killed in that Pigua at Se'ela, so they named her, you can Giz, Ravid Chaim. אז מעניין שאני לא יודע אם זה סגולה שיהיה לו, אתה מבין, נותנים שמות לרפואה, אני לא יודע לפני הבריס, מעניין, אני לא, I don't understand these things, but anyway, should have a refuah shlema. Tinok Ravid Chaim ben Ziela, refuah shlema. And the Zivig Noah Shalom ben Bela, Aram Shalom ben Rachel, Yaakov ben Rus, Yisrael Nisim ben Rachel. Heint Hayom. Heint is the Artsite Chav Gimel Ir from Alexander Steinberger, Yoshua ben Aryeh Leib Midinov, Yosef ben Daniel Biblicki. אנחנו נדבר עליהם, אבל קודם כל אנחנו צריכים להגיד את התהילים של היום לכבוד כולם, פרק נ"ח.
נ"ח.
אוי, במקום,
בלי תירוצים.
כן, here we go. המשך הבוצה. אילם צדק תדברון, מישרים תשפדו בני אדם, אף בלב עולות תבונון, ארץ חמס ידיכם תפלסון, לא רשעים מרחם, טעו מבטן דוברי כזב, חמס ממו, כדמוס מש, כמו חסן חרש, נזנו, שלא ישמע כל כה מלחשים, חובר חבורים מחוקם, אלוהים הראש עמו, עמו מילתו, כפירים נטוץ אדוני. פסוק חס, כמו שכמוך מים, אסכו למה, ידרוך תיצב, לא אצמלו, כמו שבלו כמה, נפל אישה, וחזו שם את פסוק יוד, שם יבינו צורס, אתה כמו חי, כמו חרון, ישרנו, ישמח צדיק, כי חזק נקם פעמה. ירחץ בדם הרשע, ויאמר אדם, אך אין צדיק, אך יש אלוהים, שופטים בארץ.
Didn't you say Nuntes?
No, I didn't. I did Zion yesterday. Today I said Nunches.
You said Nunches?
Each time
Okay.
I tried to even give you the psukim.
Yiddish.
Oh, okay, if you really you insist. We have some plenty of new words today. Namnatzeach al tashches leDavid michtem der Mizmor hat David Melech gesagt, wenn ist gekommen zu dem Ort von Shaul Melech ist geschlafen und hat zugenommen the Schwert. What's the Schwert?
The
Chanit, the sword. The Schwert. Chanit, Schwert. Let's see.
Sword.
Schwert von
See,
Shaul.
you pronounce the W.
I know.
Sword.
Sword.
So sword and Schword.
It's Schwert is on the Yid.
Okay.
Schwert. Shaul, the Schwert von Shaul on it's interesting, they have here Kriegel, Wasser, Kriegel. Aber ich habe gesucht und ich habe gesehen Krug. Krug Wasser is a jug of water.
Krug Wasser?
Tzapachas Mayim. As it says, Chanit Tzapachas Mayim, if you see in Yoshua.
Krug?
Krug, right. It sounds like a battle. Krieg is a battle. A Krug is a jug. Okay? Ich sag weiter.
Not to be confused with a judge.
Oops.
Sorry, you can't do this by voice yet.
I don't know how you triggers it. Der noch als Shaul ist aufgegangen, hat von der Wirticht übergezeigen, which means he convinced. Übergezeigen.
Übergezeigen?
Übergezeigen. And
Did we get Saigin with a gimel?
yes,
Ibn
Ibn is to convince.
Convince. Shachmer.
In aufgegangen hat von der Witter genommen zu Shaul HaMelech Menschen und gesagt, jetzt wollt gekannt überzeugen, again convinced, for Shaul HaMelech als is reidef mit umsitzt. We know for umsitzt means
Nothing, right?
in vain.
In vain.
Umsitzt. Weil wollte him gekannt hagen. Who yachol larogotam. So I should know that he's not chasing him. He's not a rodef. Achenu.
Kol Beis Yisrael.
Achenu.
Kol Beis Yisrael.
Hanasunim b'tzara.
Batzara uvashiv yom dim ben bayom.
Uva ben bayabasha. Hamakom yirachem aleim yotzieh mitzara. Lerevacha umefel eliora. Umishiba legeula hasta. Bagola uvizman kari. No ma name, Alexander. HaKohen Steinberger nolad b'Hungaria. Be'ir Gereb, which is in Hungary. Bishnat 1854, אותו עיר יקיין, רב אברהם קרפלון, בעל the Ol Havram. You ever hear of Sefer Ol Havram? Me neither. שהיה רבו. אחר כך למד רב אלכסנדר בישיבת הגויים בעל כתב ספר. So he learned in Pressburg. ואחר כך אצל השבט סופר, נפטר בלא בנים נולדנו ביום חוף ג' אייר, שזה היום ב-1919. בשנת 1880 נבחר לרבה של קומריים בהונגריה, עוד פעם, והוא הקים בה שוב את הקהילת האורתודוקסית.
It was a very friendly place, by the way.
קומריים?
Yeah. Komarine.
קומריים. You hear that? Yeah, that קומריים. This
Znikra al Shmo Shala.
that's a place, right?
Midas.
That's right.
Komarine.
Ad az b'mechrish chamishi shenim gavru b'ha neologim. Do you ever hear of the neologim? We know about the firm Reform and Conservative, but there was a group
in
of
Hungary.
In Hungary,
they have they still have the shul by Budapest of the neologim.
Neologim.
What are they?
They're like the Reform and
They're
Conservative.
reform, but
Liberal.
liberal reforms.
Yeah.
Neologim.
So he actually set up Alexander Steinberger set up a Kila Orthodoxit. Hidrichet Kilato be'avarab l'avodas Hashem yishripa libam ez emuna. Rabbi Alexander haya gom muflag v'tzadik tamim chasid v'anav chai ba'anias kol yomav kiyam be'atzmo adam kiyamas ba'oil shel Torah haya sonim atanas u'meshach shonim haya mechus lechem ad shelokach kikar lechem achas v'chilka l'shisha chalokim l'shishis yemei amas kedei shelo yitzarech la'acherim. Okay, הגענו למקום שלנו, אז אנחנו צריכים לשאול, מדף פרגן...
Heitzon.
Right now?
Ungeheizt.
Ungehitzt means to be inspired. Heitzon? No.
To preheat.
That's we did. Mir hat Shane das gelernt.
Das
ja, I
vergessen.
Yeah, what?
Man hat vergessen.
Ich hab jeden Tag ist ein neuer Tag von mir. Aber ich will fragen, hat nicht neue Sachen?
חשבתי אני לא זכרתי שלמדנו את זה.
Ja, כן, למדנו. חשבת. Wir lernt alle Sprachen da.
In the middle of my lesson yesterday in Yiddish, it asked me if I want to learn how to play chess.
Really?
So I said yes. So it switched to a Duolingo learners of how to play chess.
In Yiddish?
No, chess.
Just a complete.
Teach you how to play chess.
I know.
So I was playing chess for a while, and I said, "It's ridiculous." Mitten.
Yeah.
Mitten shiur.
Mitten drinnen.
So if we say we know that wir haben angehitzt and oven, Wrong. Let's see.
You said ceiling yesterday, dach, and what did we learn?
Stelia. Right. In Galechel we learned Weissel and Galechel we learned, right? Weissel and Galechel. You read Yiddish, Rabbi Moshe? What is a Galechel?
No, we did not learn a Galechel.
Okay.
This is on that what?
An egg yolk.
An egg yolk.
Weissel is the white.
Oh, right. We did do that.
Galechel is the...
I'm telling you, Chadoshim.
Kosha atikot michadeto. The Gemara says.
Yeah, I know, every day.
It's harder to chazar than it is to learn new.
Kolas cholas koshes. אני זוכר שאני שמעתי מהמשגיח בבחסקו, שנתן בפונוביץ', נתן את השמוזים, שהוא היה כבר בגיל 90 ומשהו, היה מתחיל את השמוז שלו, kolas cholas koshes. Had gehalt of zich. He held for himself in his 90s that he was still just beginning. Kolas cholas koshes. I'll never forget that. Yeah, anyway. What's our hospital?
Go to. Chaim tovim.
Chaim tovim. Okay, I have to put my chut. Al chut.
Put the chut.
Chut.
Oh
yeah, I have to forget. I'm going to forget something. You know that.
You have your umbrella?
Yes, I have it at home. Thank you. Chaim tovim.
Chaim tovim.
Yom tov. I know. I got it. It's okay. I know.
The button here.
Oh, so move it back, forward, even more.
Even more, see if it goes. More. And the top one? Good, the top one? They are good.
I'm telling you.
Okay, shkoya.
Bruchim to you.
We like to give good service.
Yes, a good yeshiva. Chaim tovim. Okay, here we go. Let's continue the shir. I want to mention the fact that Mickey or Esther, although they claimed and they made great publicity about certain judges that they were the first Hasidic female judge, not true. That Mickey, in her humility and her modesty, did not publicize the fact that she really stamped. She comes from a very Hasidic, very distinguished, as they say, miyuchas, very distinguished family, and she herself became yichus by being on the bench and being a Kiddush Hashem. And she's, when I say retired, she of course has gone off the bench, and she's in actual practice of the law, and we wish her hatzlacha rabbah, and she hopes she enjoys this year. We eventually get to Shmirat Haloshon, which is the purpose of this year. Right now we'll continue with the yard site, and we're continuing with Rav Steinberger. It's Kiso Yorash Rav Moshe Deutsch, V'achrov Kihen Rabba Ha'achron Shel Kamaran. L'diatech Esther, אנחנו רוצים את השיר, רוב הזמן זה בעברית. אז על פרשת השבוע, פרשת בהר, הוא חיבר את הספר מאורות אש על התורה, ויש על הפסוק כי ימוך אחיך ומטה ידו עמך והחזקת בו, זה ויקרא פרק כ"ה פסוק ל"ה, נמצא במדרש רבה. אשרי משכיל אל דל ביום רעה ימלטהו השם, זה מתהילים מ"א בייז. פירש, אנו רואים כמה נותני צדקה שנותנים רק לעני שכבר נפל לגמרי, רואים ביניהם דחקו וצערו, אבל החכם הרואה את הנולד מבין שיוסר גבוה הצדקה שנותן לאיש שבלא עזרתו סופו ליפול והוא הושיע שלא יגיע לכך. It's better to give tzedakah to someone before he goes bankrupt, before he's financially destroyed. Get him on the way down before he goes down. In other words, not kimach achicha, not when he's already down, but if he is falling down. Lo shekvar mach. Elaim tira sheyamach le'asid. Techakzo, you should strengthen him. In other words, you should financially support him. Valzeh amar medrash ashri maskil el do. Shehu maskil. He's intelligent, he's wise. V'chacham v'ro'es hanolad. He could perceive the economic future of the individual. Al kain scharo gam kain kain zeh. He'll be rewarded accordingly. Shagam hu b'terem sheyikra yana lo kadosh baruch Hu. Even before he asks for something in his tefillos, he will be answered. Okay, we also have the art set of Yoshua ben Aryeh Leib Medinov, Nolad ב-1734 ונפטר ב-1814, Nolad בברש. He was Mechuna Heschel Medinov. He נולד ברומניה, למד מפי הדיין מריבטיש, מושפע מרב זושה מהנפולי, the Magid Mizuzhov, the Kedushas Halevi Mibardichov, Moshe Leib Misasev. These were people who influenced him. The 1789 Ayo Rav Bedinov, the Chichein Yovel Shonim, 50 years. Hagayom Zegam Ken Yortzeit Shel Yosef ben Daniel Bivliki, שנולד ב-1907 ונפטר ב-1953, נולד בירושלים, למד אצל רבי יוסף חיים זוננפלד, היה מראשוני תלמידי ישיבת פורת יוסף, היה מוסמך מהרב הראשי בן ציון מאיר חי עוזיאל, ב-1935 התמנה כראש מספתס ישיבת פורת יוסף, מתלמידיו היה מרדכי אליהו. ב-1950 התמנה בית דין רבני בתל אביב, ב-1956 התמנה לאב בית דין בתל אביב, ב-1965 היה אב בית דין בירושלים. עד כאן היורצייטים של היום. הגענו לשמירת הלשון, חלק השני, פרק י"ט. אנחנו לומדים על המרגלים שהוציא דיבר על הארץ, והנה על שתי הטענות אלו השיבו יהושע וכלב בקצרה. זאת אומרת, הם טענו את המרגלים שאנחנו, אין לנו זכות, אנחנו צדיקים, איך נוכל להתגבר? אז בהגה, in the footnote, the Chavetz Chaim brings the following. Agav, Nevaer Mazu Dichtiv, Vayikra Moshe L'Hoshua Benun Yoshua. Pirish Rashi, Sh'amar Lo B'Midbar Rabba Parshas Yitches, Ka Yoshiacha Me'etzas V'Meraglin. V'lama Lo Berach Gam L'Kolev. So the question could be asked, why did Yoshua get this special blessing? They changed his name. Hashem will, why didn't Kolev get this special blessing? V'chima Suponim Yesh B'Davar. Was Yoshua getting special treatment, not Kolev? Gamau Dechsiv, and also the pasuk Vayavo ad Chevron, Pirish Rashi Shekolev Levad Halach L'Shem V'Nishtateach Kivrei Avos, and we see in a separate pasuk that Kolev went to Chevron to daven at the Kivrei Avos Shelo Niyas Mechaver Liyos Be'etzosam, so that he would not be influenced by the other Meraglim. Madua Lo Alach Gam Yeshua. So you could have asked, why didn't Yoshua go to Chevron? Gamo Shekosev B'Sofa Parsha Va'avdi Kolev Ekev Hayta Ruach Echeres Imo V'Yamalei Achrei Madua Lo Izkir HaKadosh Baruch Hu et Yoshua Gam Kein L'Shevach. At the end it says that Kolev was different from the others. His Ruach Acheres Hayamo. And why doesn't it mention Yoshua? Shehu Hayam Mitnagei L'Shitas Meraglim T'chilat Sof. After all, so these are questions that were asked, and now he gives the answer. Achein, be'emes nicha kol b'chadet hamata. We can answer all these with one stroke. V'hu diyesh shtei drachim avodas Hashem yisborach. There are two different drachim, two ways to serve Hashem. Be'eshem is garbin kochos atom ba'olam. When there are negative influences in the world, ve'achad ma'ovdei Hashem huchrach la'mod imoim kama shvuos, and one is forced, is coerced by circumstance, has to live amongst these negative influences. If he lets the inside out, if he lets them know, confronts them, he lets them know and confronts them with his true feelings inside, and challenges their false ways. That's one way. The second derech of sheyishtok l'nehem, he's silent in their presence. And gives the appearance of actually agreeing with them. Ad she'yovo barabim fnei kal Yisrael, till the moment of truth comes. And then he can reveal his true innermost feelings. Every approach has a plus and a minus. In the first derech of confrontation, there is the advantage. If he's quiet all the time and he agrees with them, it will have a negative influence on his inside. He'll even assimilate and adapt their ways. If a person goes out to the freezing cold in the winter, he eventually will get frostbite. He will eventually be frozen to death. But if he actually confronts the frigid cold, and protects himself, he warms himself up, he won't die from the cold. But in this derech of confrontation, there is the negative. Once they know that you challenge them, the negative influences, they will either try to harm him physically or financially. They'll need rachamim in order of Hashem's help, heaven to help him, to save him. And the second derech of being quiet, they won't harm him. They'll think he's one of them. In the beginning, they'll listen to him thinking that he's one of them. At that point, he could try to influence them, and after he's already befriended them and they accept him, then he could try to influence them. And Moshe Rabbeinu knew that Yeshua's kochos was the confrontation. Therefore, he needed special change of his name from Hosea to Yeshua to give him a special help, salvation. Hashem should save you from the counsel of the spies. And Kolev was the quiet one. He didn't need that special bracha. But however, when they passed Chevron, et Achiman Sheshai, the Talmud, the three Anakim, three giants, and they were stricken, they were shocked, and they frightened. Take if I thought datam lara. Then Kolev said, how am I going to deal with it? By Dezeh Yeh Koch Lepsof Lashtikam Leforel Levnei Yisrael Shita Amitis Achayor Yosh Al Dezeh Yuchlu Kochos Apnim Lischalef B'Meshach Zman Yos Nisli Yatzam. He was quiet, but he was also concerned that they might influence him. Therefore, in order to get special spiritual lift, he went to the Chevron, to the Kivrei Orosh Yazru B'Schusim to daven, so that he should have special help. Shelo Yiskalko b'meshach hazman, that he should not be influenced. V'yinei b'vadai k'shabar meraglim min haderech amru kulanu nishlachnu le'eretz l'turos u'lomer ha'emes v'kulanu maskim l'dei ha'achas levad ne'echa v'Yeshua. And they said, we're sent here to spy on the land, and everybody's in agreement that this is a terrible land except for Yeshua. V'dei ha'achas command damya, and his opinion is a minority, so we would disregard him. When Kolev perceived that this is the way they felt, he started off by talking pejoratively about Moshe, calling him Ben Amram. So they listened. They said, oh, he's going to say some negative things. By starting off in that way, he was able to silence them and then influence them. Both methods are good to before Hashem. Even though the first person is more is preserved in his chalice. Mikol Mokom Im Ofen Hasheni Kavosav Shemaim Gam Kein Ofen Tov K'Masa Kolev. Ma Nicha Denicha B'Tosefta Shalafamim Hikdim Akasu LeYoshua Lafamim LeKolev Mad Shneim Shkulim. So we see in the Tosefta it says sometimes the pasuk starts with Yeshua, sometimes with Kolev, to show that they're both equal. Lechora Halo Yeshua B'Vaday Gadol Mikolev. Yet we know that Yeshua was really greater than Kolev because he eventually replaced Moshe. He was the successor to Moshe. But nevertheless, and the derech of Yoshua to be confrontational, the derech of Kolev to be smart and quiet and persuasive, tzodkos, they're both good ways, Kamosha Kasavnu, as we have explained. And with that, we end the shir, and we welcome Esther, Nikki, and everyone should have Shmuos Tovos Yom Tov L'Kulam.